Coming up, my Wonderfest 2026 wrap-up. Well, hey guys, and welcome back to another Initiative Mauler. This is my Wonderfest 2026 wrap-up. I was able to return from the show this morning, actually. I left Lousiville at 6:30 a.m., so got out of there pretty early. And the one thing about traveling to the West Coast is you gain 3 hours, so I actually arrived here late morning. So I had planned it this way. I took the day off. That way I could get here early and kind of decompress, get unpacked, and a bunch of other things situated. And so since I got all of that done, I decided to go ahead and start work on this video for you. You can see my models are still packed up here. And if you're interested with how well they did at the contest, I'm happy to note I won awards for all of them. My Johnny Quest hovercraft came in with a silver, while the $6 million man builds and the speedboat shuttle all were awarded bronze. And one other thing to share with you here before we get started is, are the things I purchased at the show. I stuck to busts because bear in mind I'm limited to what I can bring back since I have to shove everything into a suitcase, and these are pretty safe to carry. You know they're not going to break on you. And this, of course, is a bust of Galen Erso from Rogue One. Beautifully detailed and really nice resemblance to Mads Mikkelsen, who played him. And this is going to be the largest bust I've worked on so far, so I'm looking forward to painting him up. And behind him is a cell phone holder. These were some unique pieces offered by Rise 3D. In fact, both of these came from that company. And that's obviously the Enterprise G there. And then I purchased another piece here this is from Joe Hudson's company called HG Designs. This, of course, is a Planet of the Apes sculpt. And the piece is called the Enforcer. You can find it on his Facebook page called HG Designs. And you can see it's beautifully detailed. And by the way, this is what it looks like when it's painted up. This is how Joe Hudson painted his sculpt, and this is what I'm striving to achieve. I'll be using his painted sculpt as a guide. Alright, so what I'd like to do in this video is first start off by just kind of summarizing how things went upon arrival, and I also want to share with you some unique things I saw at the show, and that'll be followed by a slideshow. Let's go ahead and take a look. Okay guys, well I made it here to Wonderfest 2026, and it's always a bit of a journey to get out here because there are no direct flights from San Diego to get here, but everything pretty much ran on time. The connecting flight was a bit delayed, but still got here in plenty of time to be able to get my badge and register my models. I'm happy to note that the models did make it to the show, including the speedboat shuttle, which I hand carried in this bag my wife happened to have. It's a pretty good sized bag, and I was able to slide it under the seat, so I had an eye on it the entire time. Everything else that was packed in the suitcase, I had a feeling the $6 million man models are pretty sturdy, so I knew they wouldn't be a problem. Everything else survived just fine. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and head over now to register my models, and yeah, looking forward to a great show. So I placed 3 of my models into the show the night I arrived, but returned to set up my speedboat shuttle diorama the next day. To the left of me, you see the early bird line, which when you buy a pass, allows you to enter into the vendor room 2 hours early. In the past, model placement was only on Saturday, and this kept a lot of modelers from fully participating in this event. No doubt this certainly contributes to the length of the line now. So after I was done placing my model, I checked out the vendor room, and as you can see, it was in full swing with lots of items to sell. In the vendor room across the hall, there was more merchandise, but also this beautiful Lost in Space display. Later in the day, I took a 3D printed sculpt of Marta Kirsten, designed by Fred Lewis, who, if you recall, designed the figures for the shuttle diorama, and I had it autographed by her. Included with the autograph was a selfie, and here I am standing next to Marta as she holds the bust designed by Fred. And also in the same room was this beautiful replica of Robbie the Robot. And right next to it was this gorgeous model of the Jupiter 2. Now here is a very special exhibit to share with you. It is a recreation of the Lucasfilm workshop as it appeared in the late 70s in Van Nuys, California. Basically the birthplace of industrial light and magic. When you compare it to what you see in this picture, you can see the workshop has been meticulously reproduced from the X and Y wings sitting on the workbench to the old phones on the wall. It was just incredible. When I walked in, someone had mentioned to check out what's in the trash can, which was filled with sprues and discarded pieces of an X-Wing. Next to it was a Star Trek exhibit, which contained screen-used props and uniforms. And finally, there was also a Star Wars room, which had some beautiful displays in it as well. And one other room to share with you is this one here, which was right next to the Lucasfilm Workshop recreation. You can see there was a variety of models, including this life-size replica of Maria from Metropolis, this beautiful model of the shuttle from Galactica, and this replica of the car from Blade Runner, and check out the digital display that you can see on its dashboard. Well, my favorite exhibit was the recreation of that workshop, and I just could not believe the attention to detail they put forth there. When I first walked in, I wasn't quite sure what I was looking at, but then quickly realized what I was seeing, and when you compared it to the picture that was posted there, you could just see they just recreated that with meticulous detail. So it was pretty incredible. And I believe this was the group, I'm not quite sure, but I believe it was the same group that had that Indiana Jones exhibit from last year, which included the Ark of the Covenant. All right, one other thing I wanted to show you was the sculpt that Fred Lewis designed of Judy Robinson. And you can see Marta Kirsten autographed it there on the bottom for him. If you get a chance to meet her at a show, she is super nice, really, really nice to talk to. Okay, well now what's coming up next is the slideshow. Now this does not capture all of the models that were seen at the show. There were over 1,000 entries, as I understand. So mine just consists of things that caught my eye. If you want to see more of the models, I'd recommend videos like World of Wayne. I'll put the link down below. He did a good job capturing most, if not all, of the models that were featured there. So take a look at that. Now, not included in this slideshow are these dioramas that this one gentleman brought. These are recreations of some of the sets from Next Generation, Voyager, and the original series. I didn't include him because I'm going to be interviewing him here on the channel, so we'll get a close look at those, and real interesting how he put all those things together. Now, as you watch the slideshow, you'll notice I decided to include small snippets of video of some of the models. In addition, you'll see a picture of a person pop up, and that picture is of the person who built that entry. And this idea kind of came to me as I was walking along, and I met a few of these modelers, people I took the pictures of, and I asked them whether it'd be okay if I did this, and they gave me permission to do that. What I didn't clarify was whether or not it was okay to include their name. So because some people are a little leery about putting their names on videos, I just didn't want to take the chance in case they're not okay with it. So that's why you won't see any names next to the pictures. But I just wanted to try this out and give them just another level of recognition here. All right, let's go ahead and get started with our slideshow and a look at some of these amazing entries. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. One of the hardest things about creating a slideshow is deciding which models to include. Again, if you want to take a look at more of the models, take a look at that link I posted below to Wayne's video there. The video takes, I think, about 40 minutes to get through, so it goes to show how many models were there and how long it takes to put them in a video. A couple of my favorite entries here to make note of. One was the scene from Enterprise. This was the one with the starship in an asteroid. This is based on one of my favorite episodes from the Star Trek Enterprise series. It picks up the storyline from what happened to the Defiant in the Tholian Web. But just a couple notes here. First of all, the model that's in there is the 1/650 scale model. This is the AMT model we're all familiar with. And when he told me that, I couldn't believe it because it looks really small inside that enclosure. But yeah, that is the model that he used. And also what I thought was interesting is he put these openings along the top that you see here, and this was actually to add in natural light so that it would illuminate the enclosure a bit more. If he did not do that, it would have been pretty dark on the inside. And the other favorite of mine is Ken Sprague's Godzilla from Godzilla -1, and he was telling me how challenging it was to light up all of those blades on the top of Godzilla there. He really spent a great amount of effort to do that, and it turned out just amazing. And he's gotten really good at using these flexible LED lights. That's what he used to create that beam of light coming from Godzilla's mouth there. So really great job there, Ken. All right, well, that's going to do it for this wrap-up. Now, this is not the end of my coverage because I am going to post now some Wonderfest chats, I like to call them. These are interviews now with vendors from the show. This will include a gentleman named Jason Chadwell from Mojo Model Works. Now, this is the guy who designed the TIE bomber that I built several years ago now on the channel. And what's interesting after I posted that model is he got correspondence from a couple different modelers who were pointing out some inaccuracies with that kit. And he endeavored to make the kit a lot more accurate, and that is the kit now he has available on his site. And since then, he has also widened out and expanded his offerings there at his website. So I thought it'd be a good idea to catch up with him. Also included will be an interview with my friend Joe Hudson. He'll tell us about his venture now into offering busts that he participates in designing, and so we'll catch up with him. Also, we'll be talking to Mike from Rise 3D, and that is the company that I purchased this bust from, and so he'll tell us about some of the things he has going on there. And also we'll have a conversation with two guys from, I just want to make sure I get their names right here. The company's called Danger Island Models, and they just had some unique things on their table there, so I thought you'd be interested in hearing from them. And finally, of course, the conversation with the modeler who did those Star Trek dioramas. So I'll be working on those, and they'll be up on the channel in the next few days here, and I'll be posting them as I complete them. And one exciting thing that I almost forgot to share with you, if you're familiar with the show Tested, Norm from that show has attended Wonderfest at least a couple of times now. I know he's become a big fan of the show, and in the past he's interviewed a modeler or two to be featured on his show, and I'm happy to note I'm one of the modelers that got interviewed by him this year. Myself, along with Lou Dalmaso and Benjamin Spratling. Benjamin is the guy who built those Star Trek dioramas that I told you about. We were all taken aside by Norm on Sunday and individually interviewed. So we're supposed to be featured on his show within the next month or so. So if you follow me on Facebook, I will keep you guys apprised and let you know when that is supposed to air. But really exciting, super nice guy, and I was definitely honored to be chosen to be interviewed there. All right, guys, thanks again for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you have any questions, of course, feel free to contact me here on my YouTube channel or at interstellarmodeler@gmail.com. So coming up now are the Wonderfest chats. They'll be up on the channel shortly. Take care.